boots at the beginning, you can see the boots are marked on the tracker, and that helps them do some of the, a couple of the overworld glitches. Basically, all minor glitches are in logic, just like the no glitches races, but any major glitches they can do in the overworld are legal, although not all of them are in logic. So it looks like both of the races are starting at Link's house, going down to check the island. Mentosman just doing it blind, gonna do an auto walk here, get his sword. Futon saw the sword, looks like he's setting up to get his as well. Mentos gets stuck in the wall there, but no problem. Just has to save and quit, head back over there. The sword is pretty helpful too, because it helps them buffer for some teleports, because they have to press, basically have to press it, hold the diagonal, but it has to be on a certain frame, so the game doesn't check if you're holding it when you're doing a sword spin, so you can just hold the directions that you need to while the sword is spinning. It looks like we're both going up to Uncle, just some rupees. Not much over here today. Mentos continuing onward. Looks like he might be setting up for a tier 2 or 3 tree pull. But nope, just going straight into Hyrule Castle. Futon, it seems, using that bomb there that the guard on the castle is throwing, just to check. Looks like he got some parts tier 2 or 3, I'm not sure exactly which one. But Mentos heading into escape. Finds a Master Sword, that's a pretty good find. So with the overworld glitches, the game is a lot more open at the beginning, because they can clip most anywhere in the light world and in the dark world. So it can be good to kind of get this out of the way. Hyrule Castle is a little bit out of the way, kind of inconvenient to check. A lot of runners don't like to go here, but getting it out of the way, then probably going to be heading over to, I imagine, Kakariko or South Shore, even making a trip up Death Mountain. And the hookshot in Zelda Cell, that's a pretty good find. I'm sure they'll both be glad to find that. Mentos dashing south of Link's house. Looks like he's going to be going to the dam. I imagine he'll probably do Mini Moldorm after this, but could go west to Agna. Maybe clip up to Kakariko from there. And we have Futon starting at a sanctuary. Looks like he'll be checking the rocks here. Maybe going to Lost Woods or maybe up to Death Mountain. Using that tree pole to fill up on some hearts. And we have the book and Mini Moldorm Cave today. We don't need that to get in the desert, since we can just use the boots to clip in there. But we do need it to check the tablets. So it only really unlocks 2 locations in this mode. And we saw the mirror up on Lumberjack Ledge. So I think the only thing we really need the mirror for would be Swamp. So I don't imagine it does make the routing a lot more convenient if you're you know, trying to go through. You can kind of mirror back and forth between the worlds. But I don't imagine Futon is going to be going for that until he knows whether or not Swamp will be a crystal or not. Mentos doing the fake flipper here. I didn't see if he set up a water walk. I imagine he did. He may just be going up here to Hobo, and then he can jump down from the ledge here, and then dash over the water. And Futon making his way to Kakariko. $300 and a bug net in Blind Set. Not the worst thing, not the best thing, but we'll set him up to get this bottle vendor, and maybe later he has to go into Pod or check Sora. It'll be a little convenient. Ooh, unfortunately, Mentos bonks. Trying to dash into that fairy cave there. So has to save and quit, but just heads to the sanctuary. Probably going to be following a Futon steps, I imagine. Hammer in the well. That's pretty nice to have. Makes it a lot more convenient to get to the Dark World later on when you have the gloves and the pearl. And also unlocks the left side of GT. You can check the powder as well, which you picked up from the bottle vendor there. Another 300 roots and CAC, so Futon is pretty much set up for the rest of the seed, except for I want to buy some potions. But as far as item locations, it's pretty much good to go. Mentos taking that book from the mini Moldum cave. I'm gonna check pedestal right here. And just some rupees, so no pedestal today. Mentos gets a nice treat bowl, 80 rupees, but going to be getting about 600 more in Kakariko, so not as useful. Lamp in the library. That's a pretty nice find early on. You don't have to worry about it later. When you want to go into, say, Pod or Misery Mire. Just some bombs at the race game, but deathFouton is going to be flipping over here, going over to the desert area. No glove yet, so he can't complete it, but he can get most of the items in here. Mentos picking up his rupees and his bug net. Hint says some bombs is in plain sight, so maybe referring to the race game that we just saw minutes ago. Mentos going to be picking up his hammer and his powder. Probably check the magic bat while he's here, and then I imagine he'll probably want to check the library in the race game as well. Maybe go down the desert where Futon is. Looks like Futon picked up a cape. But not too much else in desert. So the cape and the lamp, and the Master Sword do kind of hint towards Aga. I don't think they'll be going there anytime soon. Maybe they'll definitely want to check to see if Swamp is a crystal first. It depends on where the Moon Pearl is. It could be on the Pyramid Ledge. Unlikely, considering how much stuff is still left, but they'll probably be putting that off for a little bit. Mentos sees his lamp, grabs that. Futon going to be clipping in the K45 here. Doing a little teleport. Just some rupees today. Futon going to be heading back to the desert area. Probably going to be going to Agnes Cave, checking that before moving on. Or no, he can just hop right in. My mistake. Doesn't need the gloves to get from the back, so he can just finish off desert right now. Picking up that fairy, only has 6 hearts, so nice to have. Mentos gets his cape, gonna clear out the rest of the desert. Have to go all the way back, check the big chest. Futon starting his Lamo fight. Only has a Master Sword, so it's a little slower than it could be, but might as well just get it while you're here. spin slashes here because they do more damage than the regular slashes. Just gets 20 rupees on Lambo and picks up the first crystal. And looks like Mentos is going to be attempting an upward teleport here to get into the back desert. Saving a little bit of time since you don't have to go around. Or no, not quite a teleport. Looks like he just did a nice sledge hop there. Never seen that before. Looks pretty cool. Futon gonna be checking out the South Shore. Get his book. And his blue cane as well. Mentos heading into his Lambo fight with pretty much the same loadout that Futon had. Oh, we're going to be using the hammer here. So the hammer will do the same damage as a tempered sword slash. So a little bit more convenient since you don't have to charge it. But the hitbox is a bit trickier since it's a bit smaller than the sword. But not having any trouble with Lambo really. Be getting his 20 rupees in his first crystal in just a minute. Futon setting up the water walk as well. Probably going to be following the same path Mentos did. May skip Hobo here, I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to do the water walk right here. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, just going straight to the Zora area. I'm not going to check the waterfall cave. There are some... Ooh, it sees a flute on Zora Ledge. But there are some cases... Oh, and he bonks as well, but it's saved. It's a favorable bonk location. But in some cases, like if you get a piece of heart that refills your health, that will reset your state to the fake flipper. And then since he doesn't have the moon pearl, he can't activate the water walk again. And Mentos heading up to Death Mountain, the classic Death Mountain descent there. Gonna be taking the old man up to his home. It looks like Futon is going to be doing Aga early. Wants to get that mirror. He'll be killing these ball and chain guards with just one master sword spin. Half magic on the old man. Not necessary, but one of those things that's always nice to have. Mentos just doing a screen wrap up to Hera. And since he does have the lamp, he doesn't have to worry about leaving anything behind here. Just gonna probably finish out Hera while he's here. Then head out and do the rest of Death Mountain. Just a piece of heart in the Hero lobby. But finds the big key so he can head on up. Futon finds a hint that says Arrow's Mimic Cave, so that's pretty convenient. It's one of those kind of out of the way locations. It takes a little time, even if it is on the way. Mentos entering his hold on fight. 3 master sword spins or hammers, then that's all he needs. Gets it done pretty quick. And gets a small key. I didn't see if he grabbed the second item in there. Maybe we'll see him come back. But probably going to be heading east over to the east side of Death Mountain. There's 8 items over here, including the floating island. And just 5 rupees on the ether tablet there. Oh, an ice rod on Spec Rock Cave. Always nice to find that early. You know, you don't have to go on an ice rod hunt later on. And to seize the heart, looks like he's gonna hover. Makes it over, no problem. Gonna set up this bomb jump here to get back. That'll put him right where he wants to be to move over to the east side. Meanwhile, Futon takes down Aga. No Moon Pearl yet, but we know it will give him that mirror. And he can check this pyramid item. So, Dark World map check looks like we got Red Crystal at Swamp, and then Pendants at Skullwoods and Turtle Rock. So that ice rod may not be so convenient after all. But he did find some red mail in the pyramid. Looks like Futon going to be heading up Death Mountain as well. Pick up his mirror first. Futon getting harassed by some birds. Show up after you defeat Aga. Looks like going to be making his Death Mountain ascent shortly. Just to scroll the screen up a little bit, otherwise the screen transition to the Old Man Cave will take a lot longer than it needs to. And I don't think Mentos found too much on Death Mountain that I saw. But heading back up into Hera, just to reset his camera there. Might be taking his Dark map check. Oh, and we have another pendant on Leaves Town, but I missed the first time. Okay, looks like Mentos did find the Moon Pearl after all. I must have missed that. Not too much in Super Bunny Cave. So he's going to be setting up to do another clip here. Not sure exactly where he's going. But he's going down to the Screen Lab. Entering the other side of Hookshot Cave since he doesn't have nets. So far, tons of buttons. Sometimes combining the hammer and the master sword skills takes down Mulder, no problem. And looks like we have the Ether Medallion to enter Turtle Rock, but may not even need that, since we can click into the back and the middle entrances. Mentos flipping around to the Skull Woods area, it looks like. Not sure exactly what's happening here. Looks like he had to reset, unfortunately. Down see his ice rod. Might as well grab it while you're here, just in case. And looks like Mentos is going to be making his act of play since he knows that he needs that mirror. Futon taking the more traditional route over to East Dark World, using Hookshot. Oh, and Bombo's on East Dark Mountain as well. Bomb jump over the pit. Over a little shortcut over to the top of East Death Mountain. And just 50 rupees on the floating island, so no need to head up there. Mentos gets his Mimic Cave hint. So that's where the Moon Pearl was, right in Spiral Cave. So now that they have a Moon Pearl, the world's pretty much open. The more convenient Dark World portals aren't really available without the gloves, at least. But they can always do the Dark Death Mountain ascent to get to the lower Dark World. I'm going to be opening up this portal. No Ether or Samaria, so can't go in yet, but let's still check out Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave. Mentos is showing off a little bit using the net to fight Aga here. Basically acts about the same as a sword spin, maybe a little bit slower. Bhutan screen wrapping around to the Dark World floating island and be heading into Hookshot Cave. Not gonna find much, unfortunately, but might as well check out what is here. Mentos takes down Aga. Turns out, you don't need that Sword of Evil's Bane. Just plain old Bug Knuckle. Picks up his road mail. Gonna save and quit from here. Go to the sanctuary. He might be headed back up Death Mountain. I'm not sure if he lost anything due to that unfortunate screen wrap, but might have to just run up and pick up his Moon Pearl. Meanwhile, Futon headed down to Catfish from the Turtle Rock area. Okay, Mentos is grabbing his mirror first. I'm gonna head to Zora. There's a rupees for it. We're not really gonna need that flute. Runners could use sort of a sword water walk and a fake clipper, kind of chain them together to grab it. But since they can just clip into the Mire area, I don't imagine they'll be picking that up. Mentos heading into GT. He can clear out most of the left side. Oh, finds the bow in the Hope Chest. So yeah, pretty much the only thing he definitely can't clear is the right side, which requires Samaria. But if he finds the big key on the left side or at Ice Armos, he could go all the way up and just kill Aga 2 right here. Finds Quake in the Stealthless room. And there's a big key. Phuton looks like he was trying to do a screen wrap or maybe a deathFouton descent, but appears to be a little stuck here at the bottom of deathFouton. And he gets it. Looks like he's trying to head down to the graveyard ledge. But settles for King's Tomb. Mentos finds a pair of gloves in the rando room. That's nice to find, especially since it'll make going to the Dark World in lower Hyrule quite a bit easier. Doesn't necessarily want to see the mitts. Shield in Bob's chest. And so heading down into the Ice Armor split right now. And looks like he gets a pretty good quick kill there. Finds a bottle, some rupees, and the map. Meanwhile, Phuton just finds 300 rupees in the graveyard ledge. Mentos going to be heading up here. You can check the GT big chest. Just a piece of heart. Pretty rare that you see runners check that in no glitches places. But here, there's a lot more stuff that runners can find. Mentos is going to be taking his bow and probably heading all the way to Aga 2. Meanwhile, Phuton set up this mirror portal with a glitch earlier. You can just clip right in the pyramid barrier without leaving 5-6 crystals. And just some rupees tonight. Mentos making a pit stop here in this bonk room, just to get some extra hearts. A little extra safety for the gauntlet and magic refill. Meanwhile, Futon looks to be going down to Hype Cave. Probably going to be doing some South Dark World checks. And not too much in there today, just some hearts and some rupees. Mentos pulling out that ice rod for Landmo 2. It works basically the same as a fire rod, you just need 2 hits for Landmo. But the shots do go a little bit slower, so it can be a little trickier than fire rod. But he doesn't have too much trouble with it. Futon heading over to the mire area. The rain in here is a little bit glitched when you screen transition from South Dark World. And just more rupees and hearts here. Looks like the Mire Medallion. So you definitely need that to get into Blizzard Mire. I don't believe there's any Overworld glitches that will let us enter without the medallion. Finds another heart piece on the Commerce tablet, so both not very helpful to see. And back up to West Dark World. I'm gonna do the race game. Meanwhile, Mentos using some spins on Overworld here. Just a big Tony and Overworld Massage chest. Another big 20 at the big one. So now Mentos moves on to Aga 2. Takes him down. So that's going to open up the pit to Ganon, but Mentos still needs to get the other 5 crystals he needs in order to damage him on the 4th phase. Futon going to be our first runner heading into Thieves Town. Be interesting to see whether he clears it out or he just dips in for these first 4, and then continues on. Mentos heading over to Pod, since that is a crystal and he can clear it. Just a red boomerang and some rupees in the back of Strawa's closet. Town is continuing on through Town. We know he's not going to need the pendant, but there's still a couple more items in here to find. Mentos making his way through Eastern, gonna combo that with Pod. So at this point, it looks like we still looking for the King of Samaria and flippers for Swamp. Might want the Fire Rod, but considering Skullwoods and Turok are penance, probably not going to need it. Just depends on if there's anything in those two chests in Turok or in the back of Skullwood. Mentos gets his hints about cash in the graveyard ledge, so we'll be able to skip that. Finds a ring potion. It's a spin speed glitch off the big chest Easter. And it looks like Futon is preparing to fight blind here. I think only Mentos had checked the ped, so Futon doesn't necessarily know whether or not he need it. John making it to the blind plate, so pretty good first few hits. Takes on blind. Very solid fight there. Meanwhile, didn't find too much in Eastern yet, but Mentos is making his way towards Armos. Using that mirror here, checks a kid. Just a decent art. Meanwhile, Mentos making short work of Armos there. Picks up the compass. This is his third pistol. Looks like Futon might be heading up here. Gonna check the bumper cave ledge, maybe going to Skull Woods. And just some bombs, so I'm not really gonna need that cake today. Mentos finds a key in the first chest of pod, so it's not the luck today. Gotta hope that Futon heads into Ganon's tower before deciding to hit pod. Mentos attempting a rail clip here. It's a bit tricky, but oh, almost gets it. Meanwhile, Futon checking that middle chest in Skull Woods. It's nice to check this one first and then just kind of work your way to the front when you don't have the fire rod, in case you might get a key to make routing the front a little bit easier. Futon gonna take the pit entrance here. That'll give him 2 chances to get a small key. Otherwise, he'll have to go around to the pinball room, and he finds one. Not too much in pod so far, just a bunch of keys as usual. Looks like we have a shovel in Turtle Rock today. That's kind of an annoying hint because, you know, you never know if you're going to need that until you actually have it. Futon going to be taking this opportunity to check the pedestal and find out that just some cash. But will probably take a little weight off his mind, knowing that he doesn't have to clear out Skull Woods or Turtle Rock, or at least kill the bosses. Futon made pretty much all the checks he could in that area. I'm guessing he's probably going to be heading into Ganon's tower. Get his bow and his power glove in there, as well as the fake medallion, which not really necessary this scene. And there's Ether in the dark basement of pod. So that will get Mentos into Misery Mire and the front entrance of Turtle Rock if he needs to, which ideally he doesn't. Looks like Mentos going for the bomb jump here. Save a little bit of time. Finds a tempered sword. So after this, Mentos can just make his way up, grab this other Dark Maze chest, and looks like he's going to be near him, but finds the mitts, so that means ice pallets is on the table. Our runners, you can You can sort of glitch your way into Ice Palace using some kind of screen wrap, I think. But logically, I think it does require the mitts, so might choose to head there after pod. So Town making his way to the rando room. Mentos sitting down, gonna kill Helmasaur. Town gets his gloves. So it looks like all we really need right now is the flippers and the King of Sumatria. So I think as far as what we have left, there's Smith Chain and Ice Palace is most of it, I think. Mentos doing a save and quit on the Link's house. Kind of curious to see where he goes from here. Looks like he's going to be going straight into Dark World. Still has South Dark World and the west side of Dark World open to him, so may choose to do that before he hops into Ice. This doesn't have the flippers. Or maybe not. Looks like he's gonna mirror. Probably take flipper into Ice. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, looks like he's going to check these chests here that he missed earlier. But I believe going into Ice without flippers isn't logic, I want to say. But I'm not 100% sure. Zor as well is here. Saw that flute, but we're not gonna be needing that today. Looks like he's heading back up into Ice Palace. Futon took down Landmo too. Same strategy that Mentos used with that ice rod. Making good use of the bow here in the Israel group. First hint, heart piece on Bumpy Fish, but already checked that, so not much use. Yeah, this is an Overworld glitches seed, so we can do Aga 2 pretty much as soon as we can get up Ganon's tower. Mentos making his way through ice, gonna set up for the bomb jump here. And we get a hint that says, just a compass in the Tower of Hair basement. Futon gets his 20 rupee constellation prize. He's up to Aga 2. Meanwhile, Mentos gets the bomb jump. It'll make routing through here a little bit more convenient. Doesn't have a key, so he'll have to either go upwards and drop down, or go to the left. Maybe do another bomb jump. Pretty nice firebar room there. Futon takes down Aga 2 and open his Ganon pit there on the top of the pyramid. Mentos not even bothering with the bomb jump, just gonna hover over that 2-tile gap right there. And we get a hint about a unique item in plain sight, so I'm guessing that's either the lamp or the ice rod. I think we've seen all the plain sight items so far. So Futon, now that he has his bow, looks like gonna be heading over to Pod Eastern. Oh, and the flute as well. Thank you to Sammy Mess, our tracker. I hope I pronounced that right. Oh, and the mirror was on Lumberjack as well. I forgot about that. So a lot of unique plain sight items today. Futon, you're gonna get some hearts and rupees in the back of the closet here. Mentos making his last check before heading down into Cold Stare. So not much nice that I noticed. Or maybe heading back up for a heal. But at this point, so Futon is going to get his myths in the Dark Maze. So, okay, Mentos is going to check Ice-T room. He hasn't checked that yet. But besides Ice-T and Cold Stare, we've got the Smith Chain, Hammer Pegs, Meyer. I think that's pretty much about it. Mentos hasn't been over to the west side of Dark World at all yet, so he'll be able to check those the Smith and the Hammer Pegs on his first pass through. But Futon, I'm guessing Futon might he'll probably head into Ice as well. Then when he checks, he can probably combine the Smith checks with a dip in the Mire if he hasn't found Samari by then. So it looks like nothing on Cold Stare, but Mentos gets his 5th crystal. See where he goes from here. Gonna mirror since he killed Aggo 1. If he wants to save and quit to the Light World. Futon gets his Ether Medallion. So now Myra is open to him. Be interested to see if where exactly Mentos goes from here. Looks like he is going to go into the Mire area. I'm not sure if he's been here yet. I don't think he has the knowledge that it's Ether, but he has all 3 medallions, so he knows he can enter. And we know this is a good call, since the Village of Outcasts was pretty empty. But it is very tempting, you know, when you don't have Samaria yet. Having Samaria and Lyre is kind of one of the more frustrating, you know, randomizer placements. Since there's no reason it can't be there, but there's only 2 items and you kind of don't really expect it to be there. Oh, Mentos does have Samaria. My apologies, I must have missed that. So he can clear it. Yeah, he must have got that nice. there's a mushroom on the bridge. So this is looking pretty good for Mentos, actually, since he'll be able to clear out Meyer here. I'm gonna guess that he might go up to race game, check the Smith checks that I mentioned before he goes into Thieves Town or Skull Woods. So he's definitely going to save a little bit of time with Futon if he finds some clippers there. Meanwhile, Futon clear up Pod, made his way down to Helma. Makes pretty good work with the Tempered Sword, just gets a spin with slashes. Question in chat. I would say, regarding whether it's close, I would say Mentos has a pretty decent advantage here. He went into Ganon's Tower earlier, got his bow, got his mitts, and he was able to clear Pod. And then that led him to Ice Palace, where Penis Mario was, I believe. And so Futon just went into Ganon's Tower a little bit later, and he did some extra checks, like Thieves Town, Village of Outcasts, and Skull Woods, which didn't really have much. So not necessarily an insurmountable lead, but Mentos definitely has a pretty solid advantage here for sure. So Mentos kind of cleared out the front of Meyer, looks to be heading to the back to fight Vitreous. With the Tempered Sword, or excuse me, the Butter Sword and Cape, probably not going to have too much trouble with it, I can't imagine. You may not even have to use the Cape at all, you can just do the NMG strap. Big fan of that Eastern Palace spin speed that you saw both Mentos and Futon do just now. So Futon just has to head back to Armos. Got all the items ready. I believe there's a compass on Armos. And the one location that I kind of forgot about, Turtle Rock is a place that neither of our runners have really been. So we can still see flippers in there, maybe locked behind the fire rod. laser bridge, then Futon could will be able to get them right now with his current items, but might need some Aria to get through a few chests in there. Depends a lot on where Futon is going to go now. I could definitely see him going to ice, but laser bridge at the least seems kind of tempting. Without some Aria, he may not want to chance it. So Mentos has no problem at all with Vitreous. Gets his 6th crystal. We're gonna head over to Checkerboard Cave here. And just a piece of heart. Gonna be teleporting here over to Bombos. I believe that was just a big 20. It looks like Futon gonna be our first runner to make these Smith checks with his gloves here. I'm kind of a fan of this play because Ice Palace takes a long time to full clear. If you can go mode it, you can definitely save some time. So sometimes you like to avoid it just in case. I mean, there's 3 items in ice. And you can get 3 checks here pretty quick in a much shorter amount of time. Mentos checking Agina, just some bombs. And a piece of heart. Smiths. So I'm guessing what Futon might be thinking here is gonna take the Smith chest over to the thief, and then he can from there he can just go right over to ice. Meanwhile, Mentos is turning in the mushroom that he got in Mire. Just another heart container. Might as well pick up some potions while you're here. So now I'm curious to see whether Mentos is gonna go check out Turtle Rock or go do the Smith checks. And Mentos showing off a glitch here. Fake flute, it looks like. Looks like he bought that blue potion, not to heal, but to just get a little quicker warp to Kakariko. Futon setting up a fake flipper here. Kind of a novel fake flipper. You don't really see that too often. But just puts him right by the hobo. And gets his blue cane. Not the cane he wants to see, but gonna be heading into ice, so we'll be getting his King of Samaria shortly. It looks like Mentos is going to be doing these Village of Outcasts checks. may go into Thieves Town. He knows that he doesn't need the pendant, but it'll be interesting to see whether he goes all the way in or not. I'm guessing at this point he might be thinking, might as well commit. Checking the sick kid first. Futon gets some rupees on his butter sword and the little fairy fountain there. Looks like Mentos maybe not going into Thieves Town yet. Oh, doing the dig game. Question in chat, do people actually call it a butter sword? Well, kind of out of habit. It is the gold sword. But, you know, butter sword has a little more personality to it. Futon picks up first item in ice, just 10 arrows. Be interesting to see the way he routes this. Whether he's going to go left to the freezer room or just drop down. Go straight to the right side first. Mentos, just checking out these smith checks. Maybe prioritizing them since he does have the myths that he found in the pod. You know, I might be thinking, I found those myths a little later on. And my opponent maybe went to Thieves Town already. Did some of the other checks in this area. May try to forego Thieves Town and Skull Woods just entirely. We'll have to see where he goes from the thief after he turns in this purple chest. Futon doing kind of an interesting strat in that pen beater room, just dashing over to the left and taking them all down with a dash straight south. That's pretty cool. Okay, there's the Cane of Samaria in the freezer room. Futon just dropping down. Looks like he might be going straight to Cold Stare, or he might just be going around the blocks here. Okay, it looks like he's just going to be going around to Ice Tea room or not. Taking that around to the right side. Meanwhile, Mentos heading to Death Mountain. Looks like he's setting up to check the Pyramid Fairy. Getting a little trouble from the rocks there, but makes it down. Just heading straight down to the Hyrule Castle courtyard. The way this glitch works is the game basically tracks your position in two ways. One of them is global, and one of them is more local to the map that you're on. So setting the portal there takes advantage of the way that the game keeps track of your location globally, I believe. So you can mirror on Death Mountain. The game thinks you're at a different coordinate than you are, and then you can just take the portal straight back right here. I'll just get some, not much, just money and hearts. Mentos, gonna be coming up, checking things too. Futon, check this a little bit earlier with the Death Mountain descent. It's a heart piece, or a heart container. Mentos, checking the back of Escape. This is a location that you might avoid in a glitchless seed, or a non-major glitch seed. But in the glitch seed, you know, it's kind of common to see some of these checks come a little lower, since you have so much up to you. Question in chat, where's the fire rod? We don't know yet. So far, it's looking like it might be in Turtle Rock, I think. Just a heart piece in the Dark Cross chest. Mentos takes on Cold Stare. Not too much trouble with the gold sword. Gets this game some Aria. Probably gonna be heading out to Mire shortly. Oh no, looks like he's doing the same as Mentos, checking the back of Escape here. And I think Mentos is trying to get some kind of mirror wrap here to put him on the land bridge in the middle of Turtle Rock. Or laser bridge, yep. Finds his fire rod. Not what he was looking for, but you know, what can you do? Looks like he's going to try making his way. Might go backwards through Turtle Rock, may go to Trinex. Nope. Backwards it is. This way, he can also mirror. He makes his way. Say if the flippers are in the front of Turtle Rock, he can just mirror and be right back at Laser Bridge. If he doesn't take another exit. And Futon, checking out Spike Cave. We haven't seen this yet either. If flippers are here, then could give Futon a little boost. And there they are, the flippers. So Futon will be our first runner in go mode. Still needs to clear out Meyer. Looks like he's trying to get a spin speed here. So this is pretty good for Futon. He is Meyer behind, but he won't have to clear out. He can just go mode Meyer, go mode Swamp. Not going to bother with Turtle Rock at all. Not going to find his Fire Rod, but I mean, who needs that? And Futon, never seen anything like that before, but brings him down to Swamp Palace. So I'm kind of wondering, since Mentos, I mean, he's on Death Mountain anyway, I'd guess he's probably going to go to Spike Cave after Turtle Rock, but it is one of those locations that you can kind of neglect, especially since he doesn't have Thieves Town or Skull Woods. I don't believe he's checked the bumper ledge. I haven't been counting items, but at this point he may or may not kill Trinex. We'll have to see. Looks like he's heading back in. Yep. Going for Trinex, which is also the green pendant, so definitely not a bad play by Mentos. Meanwhile, Futon just making his way through Swamp. Can't imagine he'll be stopping for much of anything. Might check the waterfall chest or something, just on the off chance that he finds silver arrows, but definitely doesn't need them at this point. Mentos getting the zero cycle Trinex. Pretty slick. And it's a quick kill. Pretty nice. Unfortunate that it's not necessary, but impressive nonetheless. And finds his shovel, too. We got a hint about that earlier. Kind of forgot about that, but may just lead him astray. We'll have to see where he goes from here. Oh, looks like he's gonna save and quit. Alright, Mentos, where you headed? Oh, back to the mountain. This could be pretty good. I think Spike Cave is all he has left, so... Futon just takes down Argus with 2 gold spins. Gets his 6th crystal. Mentos getting out the hook shot. Looks like he is going into GT. Oh, he might be checking the right side of GT. Okay, this is still a good play. Since he can get these 4 chests here, and then he can just I think he can just head out and do Spike Cave then. Meanwhile, Futon can just head right over from Swamp, do a little teleport here, gets him right into the fire area. Mentos checking the tile room. This is another one of the checks that you pretty much always see people do in Overworld glitches, because you often get there, you're looking for a lot more than just a big key, and you don't really want to leave it behind. Just 300 rupees. Futon makes it into the main lobby of Mire. Just needs to find the big key, and he can head back to Vitreous. Meanwhile, on the right side, Mentos finds some arrows, some money, a heart. Pretty much every kind of junk item you can ask for in the game. Futon gets his big key. So yeah, at this point, it's pretty safe to say that the lead has switched up a little bit with those flippers. Futon just a couple more minutes, and then he can head straight to Ganon. Ooh, just the mirror shield, the dig spot. I believe the hint said that unique item can be dug up, so pretty good check to make without the knowledge that we have. But yeah, at this point I'd say lead's kind of switched up. Futon, pretty commanding lead. Already done GT, so I think he can pretty much just save and quit, and that'll take him right to Ganon. Uses some dash strats on the eyeballs, and gets out his bow, he has to fire 7 or 8 shots. And he gets his 7th crystal. Just has to save and quit, drop down the hole. Needs 6 hits for the first phase, and 6 for the second. And then he'll have to do Silverless, but I don't think he'll have too much trouble with that, especially since he has half mana. deathFouton making it through phase 3, getting the torch glitch here. And then he just needs, I believe, 12 spins. He can get up to 3 per teleport. Sometimes a little hard to get the third one, but looks like he's doing pretty good. Also, Mentos making pretty good time through Thieves Town. Fouton in pretty good shape. Definitely not going to run out of magic. And he gets it. So get your GGs in chat for deathFouton. This finished with an SRL time of 1:42.46. Or 26, excuse me. So let's see if we can get him in here for an interview. And we're joined by Fouton. How are you doing?
Pretty good. There was a small disaster when I was trying to do some Zora things, and then the Pyramid Fairy clip. But aside from that, I was pretty happy.
Yeah, Mentos actually had a couple accidents of his own. One right near Zora. Jumped out a fake flipper. I think he got stuck underwater. But anyway, so what were your thoughts on the seed?
That was a pretty rough one. I'm not sure where the fire rod is, but I was kind of happy to avoid that.
Yeah, it turns out Fire Rod ended up being on Laser Bridge, so...
Oh, God.
Yeah, pretty good job avoiding that.
Yeah, I didn't want to go in there on my first visit because I didn't have Samaria, and I don't know, it's so painful to go in, steal the key and check chain chomps and whatnot, just to get stuck kind of in that area. And then I didn't ever really want to go back because as I kept getting items, it kept opening dungeons as well as saying, hey, all these items that you're missing are a lot of locks on T-Rock, so there's a good chance there's nothing there. So I just stayed away from it.
Yeah, turned out to be a pretty good call. The way the seed kind of turned out, Mentos had a pretty solid lead for a while, but well, because he went into Ganon's tower quite a bit earlier, got his bow and his gloves, got his Samaria, just kind of followed that chain. But what happened was you found the flippers, and then that kind of wrapped it up for him. Since you were doing kind of the Smith checks around the same time. He avoided Thieves Town, and then I'm trying to think. He was ahead. He had like basically had 5 or 6 crystals, but just missed out on those flippers in Spike Cave. Ended up going into Turtle Rock instead, and then doing the right side of GT.
Yeah, I was feeling behind after the stuff I had done with the fairy stuff, and then how I had handled early game was a bit weird, but it didn't feel like it slowed me down too much. But I did feel behind, and then I was kind of unhappy with the way I was doing the Zora stuff because I really didn't want to go back for it after having skipped it the first time. But I don't like to gamble or skip anything, so I went back eventually. So I felt really behind on that. And then I just got lucky at the end because the way I typically go down to Mire is always through the Death Mountain clip like that. But because I found flippers and Spike Cave, I was able to go to Swamp instead.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. I'm not really as familiar with the glitches. So how exactly did you get down from Death Mountain to that like lower Hyrule area?
It's like the same as the Pyramid Fairy clip where you go past the rapid to Hera, and then you take the portal, and then you go all the way back down, so you can mirror in the right spot. Except for if you go all the way to the far end on the left, and then just clip out and like make sure you don't transition by accident. There's a certain spot where you jump down, and you just wrap across the screen like a ton. If you do that twice and then hold left, you'll just appear at the bottom of the entirety of Hyrule. And I was planning to go to Mire with that because you can kind of skirt around the bottom to Mire, and then you mirror at Desert so that you can correct your camera because you can't exactly find Mire without it. So that was the plan. But then flippers were in my face, and it's like, well, go mode. We're going to Swamp. That's way better.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Um, Pretty fun to watch, you know, just seeing how all the different ways you can get around with overworld glitches and stuff.
Yeah, it makes some of the awkward spots a little better. Like you can go from Ice Rod Cave to Eastern. You can just hit Spike Rod or Spike Cave while you're hitting up GT or clipping down the mountain or something like that. So it kind of makes those awkward spots a little better.
Yeah. And so, what made you decide to check Spike Cave? Any particular reason, or were you planning?
The entire, or where was I before? I was in Ice Palace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, through all of Ice Palace, my entire thought process of what I was going to do next, because I didn't think I was going to get anything from there. And the second I saw Samaria, I was like, okay, well, now I'm doing something Samaria based. So I'm either going to Mire, which there's not many items there. It's probably a waste of time. I'm going to GT to do right side, which seemed pretty good. There's a lot of stuff there. And then go to T-Rock and clear all that. But I felt, go to Mire, make sure I get my crystal. And I was like torn on like the many ways to go to Mire. You can just like walk into the Hype Cave portal and then just clip over. You can run all the way to the desert area, take the rock portal, or you can do the way I did. And I don't know why I picked the way I did, but it's just the way I like to go. And I was kind of like, oh, maybe I'll just swag it up a bit for the stream so that people can see the weird clip, because it's kind of relatively new and maybe not a lot of people have seen it. So I figured I'd throw it out, and it was perfectly lucky for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I've never seen it before.
It's one of my favorite ways now to go into the Dark World, because if you don't have like the Hammer, Glove, Pearl combo and you just want to go to Hype Cave, because Hype Cave has a lot of items, it's the best way to go, and you can always clip back up into Village Redcast. I always like to do that, go to the Swamp side of it, and then just reset my camera and go to Hype Cave, and then you are in the Dark World exactly where you want it to start. So it's the way I typically like to start out my Dark Worlds, and it was pretty lucrative this time. But
Yeah. All right. I think that's all I got. So, any final thoughts on Seed or
no,
anything else?
thanks for commentating, and thanks to hold on. Thanks to Samima's 4-track.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to follow. There were some cases I kind of missed some stuff, but the trackers are a big help. Looks like Mentos just picked up his flippers. Gonna be heading down to Swamp shortly. Unfortunately, he did end up taking that fire rod, clearing out both Thieves Town and Skullwoods. Not a bad play. I don't think Mentos necessarily played it bad. Just kind of missed out on that Spike Cave, and it is kind of a little like, I don't know, it can be awkward to kind of route it in. It's kind of like a one-off location, so can't really blame him. Heading into the Swamp now, just head back, take down Argus, then you can save and quit, bring him right to Ganon. And while we have a little downtime here, I also like to thank the organizers of the tournament for just kind of putting in the time and the effort. It's not always easy. Kind of corralling all the volunteers and keeping track of the schedule, everything like that. It's been really fun to watch. And in chat, we have the Overworld Glitches bracket. You can check that out and schedule. I think Futon, you and Mentos have a match tomorrow at 9 as well.
Yep, we got a back-to-back for late night match. He's I believe a European, so it's a lot harder to fit into his time schedule. So I just looked for a nice spot that worked out and sniped it before anyone else.
Yeah, and there's also a Discord for the tournament if you're interested. There's a lot of folks who are, happy to help you learn. A lot of resources out there. We could also use some more volunteers, if you want to commentate or help out tracking. Feel free to hop in there as well. Mentos, checking these chests down here. Just finds blue boomerang. No silvers yet. I'm not sure. Not sure where those could have been. Maybe left side swamp, but neither of runners got those today. Not gonna need them though, for sure. I know Mentos, his last OWG race, he did a pretty good Master Sword soloist, so I'm thinking he'll have no trouble with Gold Sword. Getting in some, not sure exactly what you call that, but the poke dash. Didn't quite get the quick kill, but pretty quick taking down the puffs. Just gets 2 fire rod shots and a spin. Gets his 10 arrows, then he can head out scanning. Should be a pretty easy fight. Just needs 6 slashes, 6 for the second phase. Then I think it's 12 spins for the 4th phase. Using the hookshot there, that gives him some invincibility frames so he can avoid the damage from the bats. Just needs 4 hits here. Okay, it looks like the arrows were on left side swamp. This is the torch glitch, but probably doesn't really need it. Has half magic. can still get some doubles in here. Or a triple. Ooh. Pretty close there, but manages not to fall off. Alright, gets the final sword slash or spin. Just has to cross the bridge. And GG to Mentosman8. Finishes with an SRL time of 1:57.52. See if we can get him in here as well. Get his thoughts in the seat. Alright, looks like we got Mentosman in here. How you doing, Mentos?
This is my second seed in 12 hours that accidentally became all dungeons, so got that going for me.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on the seed?
It was super friendly if you didn't put Spike Cave off till last check. I think I had everything I needed but flippers at probably around like 40-45 minutes.
Yeah. Believe it or not, you had a pretty solid lead. Up until I'd say Meyer. I think you went to Gaina's Tower first, so you got the bow and the gloves there. Took Futon a little bit longer, but then yeah, I think it was just kind of the flippers and Spike Cave kind of brought you off track, but I don't think you didn't play it bad, but just kind of an awkward spot, you know.
Yeah, Spike Cave is one of those locations that has burned me many times before, but I still put it off just because the one check is not super high odds of burning you. It's just I've played this game a lot, so it has burned me a lot.
Yeah, I hear that. But yeah, one thing I wanted to ask about, just because I'm not as familiar with the glitches. So you tried to go from East Death Mountain to Skull Woods. Can you explain a little bit about what happened there? I think you had a soft lock.
Yeah, so when you do a map wrap like that, a lot of times if you press, in this case, you know, I wrapped around the right side of the map. So at that point, if I move to the right at all before going into a door that resets the camera, it will kick you into a soft lock. Well, yeah, soft lock, hard lock, however you want to put it. So because I walked too far left before moving down, I got just over the edge of the skull. And when I started to walk down, the skull nudged me to the right, which pushed me over, quote unquote, the transition. and lock me in place.
Okay, thanks. Didn't really want to bring it up, but just more curious. Because I've never really seen that. I'm not as familiar, like I said. So interesting to know.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice little trick for routing when you're doing your initial Death Mountain stuff if you haven't done Village of Outcasts yet. But then that happens, and I was just real happy that Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny were both completely empty.
Yeah, and another thing I wanted to ask, so after Meyer, when you were just looking for the flippers, how do you decide at that point when you have, like Village of Outcasts and Turtle Rock and like Right Side GT, you have all that stuff open to you. How exactly do you decide like what to prioritize, or, what was your thinking there?
Honestly, it was pretty much just a series of coin flips in my head. Like, I cleared out a lot of the overworld stuff because I could wrap it up and wrap it together pretty quick. Then I got down to the dungeons, and it was Thieves Town with 4 items, T-Rock with 5, Skullwoods with 2, but it's quicker. It was all just kind of like, okay, there are a bunch of things I can do that are kind of equal. I wasn't going to do GT right side, but then I got the Fire Rod and T-Rock, which actually put it in logic. I'm like, hey, this could be a thing now.
Yeah, that fire rod ended up being kind of a red herring. If you'll excuse the pun, but I think that's about all I got. Any final thoughts?
Nothing in particular. Thank you for the commentary. I know you were flying solo for this one, so it's appreciated. I'm sure you did a good job with it. And thanks for the tracking, restream, all that as well.
Yeah, and thanks for racing. It's pretty fun to watch. Especially with the glitches, it's a lot of kind of interesting. Just the routing and just tech and all that. So yeah, I guess with that, we'll just wrap it up here. You can, if you like what you see, I'd recommend following our runners. Thanks to our tracker, thanks SpeedGaming, tournament organizers, all that. Check the schedule. I think, like I said, tomorrow night we have the rematch, Futon versus Mentosman, also at 9 Eastern. And I think that's about it. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a good night.
Have a good night. GG's, Mentos.